my name is Neeks and this is a time-lapse like voiceover for this illustration I made recently, and it's probably one of my biggest pieces so far because it's very experimental, and I'm here to tell you about the thinking process, art process. I don't really like calling it that. Yeah, so first of all, I'm sorry for like the quality and stuff of the audio. Like it can be better, but I'm recording this from my phone, and second, English isn't really my first language, so if I make mistakes along the way, just kind of move past it, please. Like, I would apologize, but also I am doing my best. So yeah. Okay, so we're starting off with this value distillation thing that I learned from Cynics in this video. I can link it in the description. It's called value distillation, where pretty much you can like condense every photo or pose whatsoever composition in like 2 tones of dark and light. Yeah, so I tried to do that. I actually did it a lot, and then I decided I wanted to take it up a notch because I'm really learning to like digital paint for the sake of, I don't know, really, I just want to draw this character I'm really obsessed with as a digital painting. His name is Sam Yao. He's from Zombies Run. It's a running app with a audio drama attached to it. So he's a prominent character there, and I love him so much. That's why I decided I'll make a drawing of him. And this post, I can put up the photo I'm referencing in the edit there. I will leave future Nicks to do it. Anyway, so at first, like, I was only doing this black and white thing, and it's really hard to wrap your head around of like where the light hits and where things like lose detail and go dark. So you can kind of notice I go back to this from time and time. And if black and white is hard, doing it with colors, individual colors with like different things like his hair or his headset and then his jacket and then his pants, like, it's a lot harder than I thought, but I didn't really want to quit because, again, I am determined to paint this man because that's just what happens when I like characters enough. They kind of motivate me to do things I usually won't do, like go outside and run. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, so in here, I was trying to focus on shapes because that's what Cynic said in his video, and I really found that video helpful. I actually decided to try this a bit after that video, and yeah, he mentioned something there that in order to like paint digitally in a great way, not really exact dialogue, but he said that you can treat each item as its own object or shape to do value distillation of. So like, he also told the viewers that to avoid lines and whatnot and focus on shapes. It's all shapes. So this is why this thing is mostly lineless except for his eyes, because let's be honest, I can't paint those yet. Like, I can try, but I can't. And here's me struggling with glasses, because round glasses, the circle ones, they look beautiful, okay? And it fits this character, but they're so hard to do perspective of. So yeah, that's me trying. And then I make these shapes with the jacket and the hoodie and stuff. And I kind of determine the folds by deciding where they're being pulled. So like, the front sleeve here has more of a twist because of his arm, and then the other that's hanging like right here on the right, it's not as twisted because his arm is not really twisted. How do I say? I can't really explain it in English, I'm sorry. But yeah. So here you can see me kind of give up and tried to do lines because I wasn't convinced that the twisties that I did earlier was good enough. So I tried to do lines in the hopes that it would help me. And I guess it did, just a little bit. But at this point I was feeling kind of lost of like what I was planning to do with this piece, because again I did it out of a whim. Like I just wanted to draw him. I didn't really plan like a background or anything, because honestly that's how most of my illustrations go. They're not really planned. Like even the end surprises me sometimes. And yeah, I think it kind of shows with time lapses, so that's why I'm kind of shy of posting them. But hey, it's my process, you know, so I don't really want to be shy about it anymore. Yeah, so here I decided that the colors I will be going with for like the overall composition is green and violet. Green being the light source and the violet-ish being the background, the shadow, I mean. Because this thing, it ended up like with one light source and a dark, really dark background. And I chose green and violet because of the color theory thing that's called complementary colors. It's basically just picking two colors that are opposite of each other in like color wheel. So that's green and violet. And in here he's looking at a radio scanner, that's why it's green. And yeah, so I kind of laid that light down and then decided I'll color pick above it there. Like as you can see, I'm kind of color picking over the orange and then redoing the shapes over and over again, because again this is experimental. And I kind of decided to focus the green-ish tones. I'm not really sure if I'm using the right art words, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I kind of decided to use that in like the front with the arms and then the sleeves and then the pants, some of his hair, because it hits the light directly. Like the light is coming from in front of him. So I decided to emphasize that with just coloring those green, and then everything else is purple shaded. Oh my god, I'm using the wrong art term again, I think. I promise I go to school. Okay, but yeah, so that's my thought process behind this, and it ended up much simpler than I thought and simpler than I originally planned. But at the same time, working on this, it felt so complicated. Like I really had to like do it over and over again until I figured out a way or a process that I liked enough. Like, you know, here I'm testing this thing on his eyes, and then I decided, nah, it doesn't look right. Yeah, and the thing about the shapes on these, I really focused on the arms and the sleeves because of its twisted nature and then stuff. And the pants was easy, you know. He's supposed to be wearing sweatpants, and these are grime, yeah, because the setting is like in a zombie apocalypse, you know. And I bet they don't really get the luxury of being clean all the time anymore. So I just put it on a layer above the clothes and then lessened it a little, so it doesn't really kill the details that I put. And yeah, this piece has a lot of mistakes, and there are 1,000 things I would go back and redo, but at the same time it's fine. I can live with it. And here's me putting this character behind him. That's actually Janine in my head, but it's not really canon. Yeah, so there's the piece. Ta-da! Overall thoughts about this piece is that it's great, but I can tell that whoever made this, obviously me, it's like I can tell that they were still trying to understand how it works, and I'm not really mad at that, honestly, because that comes with learning, in my opinion. Yeah, and even if it's kind of obviously clunky, I mean, you know, like, you can't be bad at something first before you get good at it. There's probably a better way to word that, but it's whatever. So yeah, I heard like from a lot of feedback that this was very emotional, provoking, and I'm glad to hear that, because that was the goal here. And this drawing was actually based on an episode that really hurt me. Like, even now I'm already far from it, and I still go back to that episode from time to time because it hurts so much. Anyway, so yeah, that's my first ever digital painting-ish. That's not really a painting, but just flat colors and shapes and lineless stuff. That's all. I'll see you guys in the other time-lapse voiceover. Bye bye.